Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Energetic Life Now, friends and family from around the world. It is so great to see you guys here. Thanks for tuning in today. If this is your first time here, if you're watching a replay, you're joining us on YouTube, I just want to send out a very warm welcome to you guys. And thank you so much for spending a few moments with us today to talk about some amazing people, guests on my show. And before I get into how amazing they are, just want to remind you that today, the Energetic Life Now show is coming to you live on the Spanglish World and her network, which is on the amazing Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. And the app is free. If you have not downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get it downloaded, leave it a like, a comment, a share, get it on your TVs, all smart TVs 2016 and forward. If you need it on Google Chromecast, it's there. It's on Amazon Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks. And it's just a great way to stream this show to you absolutely live and absolutely free on your iOS and Android devices. Now, listen, I am so stoked today because I have two of my ultimate, most favoritist. Is that even a word, favoritist? We're going to add it to Webster's dictionary. Two of my favoritist people in the whole wide world, Cindy Gould and Laura Ollinger. And if you guys have been with me on the Energetic Life Now show, you will have recognized these two fabulous individuals from many shows in the past. And there's a reason why I continually ask them to come back is because I don't have any friends. And because they are so amazing and we are so aligned in just being colleagues together in our spaces of which we are all coaches in. So today, Laura, if we could start with you. A lot of people might know you, a lot of people might not. Laura Ollinger, the Positively Healthy Coaching, Positively Healthy Mom. Would you please go into just give us your intro? Like, who are you? You know, what is your coaching all about? What is your service? What is your niche? Some pain points that you are solving for the people that you get to steward and serve, and looking into 24, like, what are you most passionate about? What is driving you to do what you're doing? Because I know some cool things that are coming up, friends and family, but I'm not going to be the spoiler for that. So please welcome to the Energetic Life Now stage, Laura Ollinger. Yay!
For that wonderful introduction. So, there's the thing in families that happens called conflict. And, especially if you have a teenager, and a lot of times moms are stressed out, dads are stressed out, teenagers are, pushing against, they're kind of like doing that classic rebellion thing. They're really just trying to find their own way, their own identity. And so the parents end up calling me for a variety of different reasons. It's a behavior that they are seeing in their teenager, whether they're kind of holed up in their room and they're being real antisocial, if they're constantly on their phones, on their video games, not really engaging in normal life. So that's one of them. Noticing signs of anxiety or depression is another one. So, those are kind of two opposite ends of the spectrum where, the anxiety is super, anxious, high energy, just very worried. The classic signs you see are the teenager being very dramatic, like, oh my gosh, this big test coming up, and oh my gosh, this, and right, and just being like very outward with their expression, whereas the depression is that low energy, kind of being holed up in the bedroom. And so either way, the parents end up being worried and concerned when they see either of those extreme behaviors. And then a third category that we would fall into seeing these behaviors in teenagers are just not being successful in school or being completely overwhelmed by school. So not able to complete their assignments on time. And that's just, a sign of something bigger going on. And so that's something that I can address as well. And a lot of times it gets down to those, organizational things that, they may have never been taught how to do these things, but it all adds up and it starts to add pressure. Then the teenager starts to feel bad about themselves when they're not making good grades, and they know they know mom and dad are disappointed. And so there's this kind of vicious cycle that goes downward after that. And so that's why parents end up calling you. It could be a variety of reasons, but no matter what it is, it's causing some type of stress or conflict in the family, and they need that to be solved. And so I can solve that in one of two ways, actually three. I can work directly just with the parent and help them on their parenting skills. I can work directly with the teenager, help them work on their coping skills, stress management skills, organizational skills. Or we kind of, my favorite one really honestly is to do the hybrid approach where we do both. And, I can meet with mom one week, teenager next week, or we can meet with mom and teenager together or dad and teenager together and kind of really resolve whatever the issues are and come up with a win-win strategy for that.
Yeah, wow, that is really amazing, Laura. You touched on so many really, really key things that teens are and families are struggling with right now. I don't know what is happening, what is going on. I mean, the research right now is we're looking at kind of where we are post COVID or pandemic world that we're in right now, is kind of a odd space of time, and there's so many key things that parents and families are dealing with right now. And listen, if you are watching this or listening to this, and no, hands down, there is room for change, room for growth in your family, with your kids, within yourself as the parent, as the adult leader within the family unit. This is a great opportunity for you guys to reach out to Laura and book a discovery call with her and spend a few minutes just openly sharing, like, hey, this is what we're dealing with. Because how many times we just hear Laura just say, like, oh my gosh, like, we'll solve this, we'll solve this, we'll solve this, we'll solve this, and get into really those things that your families are dealing with as challenges right now. So I want to encourage you guys to reach out to Laura. Laura, what's the best way to get a hold of you for booking a discovery call? So somebody just heard that and went, yes, that is my family, that is my kid, that is exactly what's going on. How do they book a discovery call with you, Laura?
Well, I'll tell you the shortcut. Well, my website is positivelyhealthycoaching.com, and there are so many buttons on there that all say schedule a call, schedule a call. But if you don't want to type all that out, you can go to callwithlaura, LAURA.com, and that takes you directly to my booking page.
Beautiful. Callwithlaura.com, or the website was Positively Healthy Coaching, correct?
Correct.
.com. Positively Healthy Coaching, or Call with Laura. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next question, Laura, for you is this: what are you most passionate about within what you do as a coach for teens and families?
Well, I'm passionate to see the transformation or the change in the client. That's what gets me the most excited. I have one client that comes to mind as I say that, which is I did a check-in call with the dad at one point, and he said, she's not even the same person that she was when she first met you. And that was like, woohoo! Like, I just celebrated that all week long because I was so proud of the work that she had done. And it was true. When I first met a girl, she was actually basically having a panic attack just having to meet me. Because her level of anxiety was so high about meeting new people and having to talk about her innermost thoughts and feelings. It was very like that, being vulnerable and open to a total stranger was hard. So we did some breathing techniques. We did a little meditation. And by the end of that first call, she was on the screen with me. We were chatting. And that was, a long time ago. Now I still work with her to this day. It's been quite a while. And she is just like, second she sees me, she's like, oh my God, guess what I have to tell you? And she's so excited because, she feels comfortable but it's not just that with me. This is how she is now in the world. This is how she's showing up at school. She's now engaging in her social life, which she wasn't before. She's making friends she wasn't able to start conversations before, do all these skills that we've worked on all this time. So that's what gets me fired up. It's like, and it could be a different scenario, but just seeing that change or that transformation when someone comes to me in such like dire need, and then, you know, they spend some time with me, and then they feel really proud of who they've become.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I just applaud you so much for the work that you're doing and being able to, you know, bring about that change, like you said. And so listen, friends and family from around the world, as you guys are listening to this, I just want to encourage you guys that to know that you're not alone. And whatever challenges that you guys are facing, you've got 3 of us right here that you can reach out to today and stop, you know, whatever's going on. Like, let us help you bring about that change and move yourselves from alive to thrive, right? Because just being alive isn't enough. We want to get to that place of thriving in our lives. So thank you, Laura, for that. Now, I do know that there is something really big on the horizon for you. And I know that you are going to be in the St. Louis, Missouri area very, very soon. Why are you going to St. Louis, Coach Laura?
Well, thank you for asking, because this is like the top of my burner right now. I'm giving an amazing parenting workshop to a group of parents, and it's called How to Raise Your Kids Without Freaking Out. And it's going to be very... because that's what we do, right? We do freak out. Cindy's laughing, but it's true. She knows that is true.
So true.
We freak out a lot because it's very stressful. And so I am going to address that head on. It's going to be very interactive. I had a lot of exercises and activities planned for my group, so I'm really excited.
Oh, that is fantastic. When is that happening?
That is February 18th. It's a Sunday. It is from 11:30 to 1 at the Church of St. Michael and St. George in St. Louis.
St. George in St. Louis. All right. So listen, if you are on planet Earth, it is time to make your way to the fabulous state of Missouri, to St. Louis, as a matter of fact, and get in on this training with Laura. And can they find that info on your website as well?
The best place to go for that would be, hopefully people are on Instagram. Go to my bio on Instagram, and there's a link on there. That'd be the easiest way to find it.
And that Instagram is Positively Healthy Coaching.
Correct.
Positively Healthy Coaching on the Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's your go-to spot to find out how to get to St. Louis before the 18th, which is only in a couple days. So you better hurry up and make your way down here. Thank you, Laura. That was amazing. I love it. Now, this next dear friend of mine, Cindy Gould, she is amazing as well. And Cindy, thanks so much for being here with us today. The Joy Catalyst. She puts the J in your oi when you've lost your joy. This is the woman to go to find your joy. So Cindy, would you kind of just introduce yourself to the audience, the global audience here, and tell them who you are, what it's all about?
Yes. And thank you so much for having me. And yes, one of the things that's really important to me is for people to realize that you can create and sustain joy in your life, especially after your life has been blown to bits. And it's really not only possible. I'm walking proof of that for myself. The things though that I'm really passionate about is having people and helping people to figure out really who they are, like really, and why they're here on this planet, and then to strategize and walk out a plan of what they're going to do about that. I'm sure both of you know the statistic. I know you and Eric, that people leave this planet, and it's a across the board universal statistic. 98% of the people that come here leave without doing what they came here to do. They don't fulfill their dreams. They don't, stay in alignment with their assignment. They don't walk out what God's purposed them to do or created them to be. And why do they do that, Eric? Because I know you know why. because they're afraid.
They're afraid.
Yeah. And not just like, if we look at the three of us, or if we were in the room of 100 people, let's say that we were 3 people out of 100, only 2 of us would fulfill our dreams based on that statistic. Out of 8 billion people on the planet, 7,840,000,000 people aren't going to do it. Like, that is what spurred my why. As both of you know, I had a series of unthinkable losses from August 7th of 2021 through March of 2022, including my beautiful son, Mana, my father, and 8 loved ones total, all moving back home to heaven in 7-month period of time. Plus my divorce was final. And it's like, what the freak? Seriously, and it's interesting because during that time, I was already in the process of the divorce before all that avalanche happened. And so I was already learning what we both all 3 of us know, neuroencoding, and which is, the science of being able to reprogram yourself, your brain, all of it, to really reprogram it to make your very best. And so what I did for myself is that I reprogrammed myself for joy and gratitude. And I really, the neurons wire together, and I had to unravel and refire so I could rewire myself to joy and gratitude. And so who do I help? I help those people. Anybody, and I'm going to just say, anybody who's watching this, pretty much you've probably walked through some kind of trauma, and you've probably gotten yourself stuck there somewhere, right? And trauma is different to everybody. Everybody's tripping over their trauma at some point. And whether it's the types of things that have happened, I know, Laura, I know some of the things in your life that are precious to you that you walked through that were very painful, as well as you, Eric. And whether it's things that are that big, or even things like that are still just as big. I lost my job, or your marriage, or your best friend, or you had a falling out with one of your children, or you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm 40 something and I've been living somebody else's life. I'm not really authentic to who I really am. And you wake up without as you put it so profoundly, the J in your oi, with your oi to create that joy. You don't wake up in joy every day, and why not? Why the freak not? You literally have every day is a new opportunity to create whatever you want. Anything you want. And it doesn't matter if it's, I want to go to the moon, or, hey, I'd like to meet, whoever, it's whatever you want to do, and it's your life. And instead we live by a lot of people's stuff, and then we create so much, right? So that is really my passion, is to help you to really figure out what you really, really want, and let's go for it. Like, stop hiding, right? Show up and step up. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. And please tell the viewers, like, where can they find you? Where can they go to book a discovery call with you? Just say, listen, Cindy, what you said really resonated with me, and I wanna explore moving forward. And so where can they do that?
Go to Create Your Victorious Life, and you can schedule actually what I'm doing now are breakthrough calls. And within that 1 hour, 30 minutes to an hour session, we're going to figure some stuff out from the go. And then we'll see how are we going to work together. And the things that I do with working, just like Laura does, and like Eric, I love doing one-on-one sessions with you, and we will do that. Or I do offer groups as well, which is super fun. The group coaching is really fun. It's a whole different dynamic. And of course, like my 2 friends here, I will come to where you are, and I will actually even do what one of our other friends do, some in-home turnarounds, and work intimately with you that way, or come to you and do keynote speaking, training, workshops, whatever, we can figure it out. You can find me also on Facebook, Cindy Gould. You'll recognize it because my happy face is right there. So you'll know it's mine. And please, by all means, just message me there and let me know that you saw me here on Eric's show and that you're interested in having a breakthrough call with me. And I'd be happy to schedule that with you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you. That was fantastic. That was great. So here's a question for you both, and you guys can jump in, whoever wants to answer this out. Thinking of 24, the year 2024 here, what really are you in terms of your own goals? And it can come from any space of goals, if you will. What are you most excited about for this year? Like when you hit to like July and you're looking back to January and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. And then to even think back to or forward to like December and to look back and go, man, yes. Like what is it that you are focusing on that is getting you so excited about moving? I mean, I know we're into this year, but we're still early into the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I'm excited to just continue to expand. So I have quite a lot of places here in Austin that I regularly get asked to speak at, do workshops at, but I'm kind of branching out, as I mentioned with the St. Louis thing, but kind of going to other cities that are in Texas and kind of just going to a more national level.
Beautiful. That is awesome. That is so cool. And that is for sure going to happen. I definitely know that. Yeah.
Yes.
How about you, Cindy?
Pretty much the same thing. When you were saying that and you said 2020 groups that I am running right now, which is an all women's group and so much fun. Oh my gosh. But roar, soar, and more in 2024. And so, and it's basically speak up, show up, stand up, step up, all of those things. And for me, like Laura, I'm traveling a bunch this year and doing different events and having fun doing that. It's really about my heart is really to have impact where I can say, you know what, I get it. I totally get it. And let's go. And stop hiding, because so many people, how many times have we all three of us, right? We've all had our seasons where we hid, and where we basically had to pull ourselves sometimes kicking and screaming, like, come on already, right? And so that's really where my heart is. It's like, okay. And if I reflect back on December, the other component too is to create as many joy-filled moments with my children and my family and my mom and my siblings and nieces and nephews, all my loved ones and my grands. I have 10 grandbabies. So, yeah. And then to fill moments in my day. Something I'm really intentional about is creating joy-filled moments with myself, during the day. And whether that's, meditating for 5 minutes, jumping on my rebounder until I'm laughing my head off, or, in between, because I'll be doing that because Eric knows I have a call at like 30 minutes after this. And so I'm going to jump on my rebounder and just like, okay, and then jump back. But those are like some of the things when I really, like, it's December and I'm sitting back and we're on phone calls with each other, laughing and reflecting over our year. I think those are the things that'll matter most, or like what Laura said about her, the girl that your client that's like stoked and can't wait to just throw up all over you about her fabulous week, right? And in the beginning, how shy. Well, I had a husband, after just 2 sessions, his wife, 2 sessions with me, came up to me. I bumped into him at an event and he pulled me aside with tears in his eyes. And I thought, oh no, what did I do? Instantly I'm thinking, and he said, Cindy, he said, my wife is a different person and she wakes up humming and happy And I'm like, whoa, and so both of you know what that feels like to be like, and those are the things that fuel, I think, all three of us, and even the reflection we'll have in December of what really happened this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I love that. I love that. Thanks so much for sharing that, Cindy. Listen, friends and family around the world, listen, you guys are tuning into this and knowing like, man, these two amazing, amazing ladies have got it all going on, right? There's nothing in that they are dealing with. They are top to bottom, top notch. They've got it all figured out. They are the coaches extraordinaire. Are you ready for this? I'm going to get him. Are you ready for this? Get ready, listeners. Here it comes. Okay, so Cindy and Laura. Here's a question for you, and you're going to hate me for this, and I don't care. Here it is. Are you ready? Laura's looking nervous. What do you in 24 need to overcome to become what you just said you wanted to do? What do you need to overcome to become who you want to be in 24? Dang it, I don't like Eric anymore. Suckered me into this show. Now he's going to hit me with this question.
I mean, you want to go first, Cindy?
Go ahead, honey.
I mean, at the risk of sounding arrogant, I think I'm kind of already there. And the thing is, I'm not one to shy away from vulnerability or weakness or things that I need to overcome. I know that there are things I probably do need to overcome, but in relation to answer your question, I feel like I'm already kind of in motion and doing those things. And it's really just a matter of like continuing that path. I mean, like I said, don't want to toot my own horn, but
No.
I feel like I'm pretty good in this category. But I would love to share some type of, I think one thing that I've been working on for a while now and continuing it on is just to stay focused. I know we all have that shiny penny syndrome where we see this class and we see this class and we want to sign up for this and we want to do this and before you know it, like we're really not making an impact anywhere because we've done one chapter of this book and we've done this Audible and we've done this work, right? And it's like, unless we're actually implementing the things that we've learned, then it's really kind of just a drain of our resources and a drain of our mental power. And so I'm a strong advocate of using what I already have. Like I've already invested a lot of time and energy and resources into ways of personal growth for me. And so I'm really just making sure I'm using what I already have, and B, if I am expanding or investing into anything new, that I'm actively using it and it's not just sitting there, I'm forgetting about it, it's getting dusty. But to just stay really, really focused and really concentrated with what I've got.
So well said. Because we know in this industry, in the coaching industry, I can literally go from conference to conference or webinar to webinar, book to book, whatever it is. And unless I'm willing to take that of which I've learned and put it into practice, what good is it? What benefit is it for me to be doing all these things if I don't do anything with it? I love that you said that. And
can I add on to it?
Yeah, please.
The thing is, not only is it not helping us if we spread ourselves so thin, which by the way, that's a metaphor for many areas of our lives, right? We all spread ourselves very thin as a mom or as a wife or as a whatever employee or something. But not only is it not helping us to have that, but it's actually doing us a disservice, because what happens is we end up starting to feel bad about ourselves. Like we know we spent money on this, or we know we signed up for that, or we know we have that book sitting on the shelf. And then we're like, oh gosh, I start to feel like guilt and shame that I'm not doing these things. Like I signed up for it, I paid for it, but I'm not doing it. And then you feel bad. And so that's like really, it's almost harmful. And so I would encourage people to really stay true to yourself and to your own boundaries and define what your boundaries are, and only do things that you know you can commit to, but B, like the benefit of them is the knowledge, but B, once you complete something, then you feel a sense of accomplishment and you feel really good about yourself, and you get that self-worth kind of continuing to build.
Right. I agree with that. And I love that. And one of the things that I wrote down when you asked that question, Eric, and one of the things I'm actually applauding myself for is exactly what you said. I said no to a few things this last month that, normally I think I would have said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, sure. Let me be a part of that, just because of the people that are putting that event on to be supportive or whatever. Yeah, sure, I'll sew into that. Well, what I really want to encourage people, and even for myself, is to really get connected. Now, for me, I pray about things, and I just have a constant dialogue going all the time. What do you think, God? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I'm constantly doing that. And as you know, Eric, for myself, even like I just check in with the Holy Spirit all the time. And I know. And so if I'm not to go in that direction, I'm totally golden saying, no, I'm not doing it, and what it does is I really, the other day I was having a conversation with our good friend Yoyoy, who we all love and cherish, and just telling her like, holy smack, with all the balls in the air. And I'm good at volleyball. Like, trust me, I'm Hawaiian. I play volleyball, but this right now, I'm like, I don't even have my knee pad. I forgot my knee pads, what I'm doing, right? And I just had to dial it back a minute. And, as she's saying, just breathe. And because to your point, it's about spreading thin, right? And doing that. And I have a practice of filling myself so full that I serve from my overflow so I don't deplete my resources. And that conversation reminded me of like, hey, Cindy, where's that practice you have? What are you doing? And so I had to stop and really do that. And so for myself, it's something that, to your question, Eric, that I'm really mindful of right now, because I've got some travel coming up. I've got some things happening, and other things that I'm involved in. And so it's really goes back to pay attention and to grow through these things, because there's a purpose and a point to what I'm choosing to do, and to really enjoy it. Like, I get to do this stuff. I get to learn these things. I get to learn, and I get to bring it to other people. And so for me, it's really, again, to your question, because I had to dig through that, and I totally get where you're at, Laura, because the three of us are constantly developing ourselves. I mean, we are like consistent learners, and we do those things and we love it. And so we look for the things like, how can I improve, right? What can I grow more with? And for me, it's really that. It's like paying attention. If I am tired, okay, and I taught this in my class last night. Did you do all your water today? Did you get good rest? Like, the normal basic things, not digging for that big, etherical reason. It's like, hey, did you drink your freaking water today? Like, how did you fuel yourself today? Did you drink your ketones? What did you do? Right. And then take it from there, just like the basics.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. Thank you both for sharing that. I completely understand and echo everything that you guys said, because I know for me, it's like, where is my harmony coming from? I don't like people that the good work-life balance. I like to think of harmonizing in my life. How am I really looking at the things that matter most to me, and when and where am I putting my attention into that? And for me, harmonizing those components help keep me focused on where I'm going, right? And I love, Laura, that you went into, carrot on the stick and chasing that next thing. Well, if I just have this, then I'm going to feel better about this. And then you're going to get to that, and then you're going to get to something else because you didn't implement that, and then you didn't implement this, and then you completely forgot about all this that you studied over here or learned over here. And then so you keep chasing that never-ending loop, I guess it's called, going after that next shiny thing.
Mm-hmm.
When the actuality is you've got all of this knowledge, start putting it to use, right? And so with that, I want to ask you guys this. What's something that you've committed to doing in your life? Maybe it's part of that rise routine in the morning or your rest routine at night, part of your balance of harmony for yourselves, that I'm sure you're teaching to your clients, because I know I am too. Is that something that you discovered in 24? Is that something you've grown into over the last couple of years? Like, to share with us something that you've done for yourself within that idea of creating harmony for yourself.
I know for myself, I make me a priority. It's a big deal. And I didn't always, as I think as a wife, as a mother, as when I worked in corporate, whatever, or even as a business owner, my clients were the priority, and as a mama, I know that's why I have so much love and respect for what both of you do in the family unit, because, and as a single mom during a season of my life and working, and, all those things. And then you do the drive-through instead of the cook, all of that. Right. And I'm so on board with you with the word harmony, because sometimes things are out of whack. If you're married or in an intimate relationship, sometimes your spouse is at a 10% and you're at a 90, because that's just where everything's juggling, and they've got a project that's got a timeline on it, and there's 3 games that week with your children. Sometimes you have to swoop in, and that's not going to be balanced. You can still create harmony that way, though, when you have that love and respect. And so for me, my rise routine and my, at my end of day to my day, it puts me prioritizing me. When I do my big calendar for the year, I put in me first. Okay, I'm going to take this trip for me. I'm going to do this. I put my babies in. We're going to do this, all the birthdays, all the goodie, all that. And then I put in, oh yeah, I've got this NEI event here. I've got this John Maxwell thing here, and put that in around, because it is my life. Right. And so I didn't always do that. It's kind of like, you guys are both parents. So, did you ever sit down at the table first, or right? Or did you get everything there and right? Or if there's one toast left that's made, you give it to your child, and then you putting, making more for yourself. All of those things, because that's the lens that we look through, and that's the way we did it. So at this season in my life, I'm doing it a bit differently, and it's working.
I love it. Thanks, Cindy, for sharing that. How about you, Laura?
Yeah, you kind of stumped me on this one. So to find, so something that I've taught my clients that I've done for myself in the context of harmony or balance. Well, I think I'm stumped because a lot of my clients don't have harmony and balance, and they don't necessarily have a way of getting it. So I have a client that comes to mind that's a great example. She is amazingly talented as far as theater, actress, singing, dancing. She's on stage all the time. She's constantly doing training. She has a voice coach. And not only that, but she is an extremely high achieving academically student. And so she has no time. She has no harmony. She has no balance, because all of her eggs are in basically those 2 baskets. And she is a junior, so she's working on getting her she's doing some college prep, test taking, whatever all the tutoring stuff. And so there is not. And so we really just like with what's left of her, we just work with that, which is not a lot. There's not a lot. And so part of her, exhaustion is the thing that we're talking about, or her burnout is the thing we're talking about. Right. So I can't necessarily like give this, because even like when I think of my other teenage clients, same thing, like one is totally in full on college application mode. One is just trying to make sure they graduate, it kind of goes on. And so honestly, from a teenager's perspective, there isn't always that great way of harmony. That doesn't mean I don't talk about it with them. I use the Wheel of Life tool with them, and we, say, where could we grow? What maybe could we cut back on a little bit to make a little, so we do discuss it, but it's not always practically doable.
Yeah. Great. It's a great point. It's like how busy are we, or how busy are our clients, of which they would like to create some harmony in their lives, but and the challenge is, where to find that capability to do that, right? And I think with teens, they have a lot of energy, and so they can like the Energizer bunnies, they can just keep going and going and going. But eventually it's going to catch up with them, right? And for me and my age, I got to really make sure that I'm creating that consistency in that balance. And that's really something that I'm working on for me, is creating that consistency and limiting some behaviors, trying some new behaviors that I know that are going to be better than just, sitting on, the old phone there and, shooting zombies. Like, that's only going to get me so far in life. Yes, it's preparing me for the apocalypse, but it's really not going to help me in my day-to-day operations of what I need to do. So I got to make sure that, I'm creating that harmony and balance. Yeah. That's great. So, you guys, in working with your clients, Cindy, you said you've got some groups going. Laura's, you've got some groups coming up, some trainings and things coming up. Either one of you have anything like in the works for some time in 24, of which you're like, dude, this is going to launch and it's going to be like, it's going to be so big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be monumentous. Like, it's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Anything big, like maybe it's like a secret and you can't say it yet, or maybe you're like, just be watching out for this. Anything like that on the horizon?
I do. I do. So just come to my Facebook page, Cindy Gould, and watch out for, and even reach out to me and say, hey, I want to be a part of this. And I have this really, really incredible, it'll be a free group that you can join, that I'll be launching in the next couple of weeks, which I'm super stoked about. So come and pay attention to my Facebook page, because I will be on all my socials, because I will be announcing it. And it's going to be really fun and a really amazing place where you can thrive. And you're going to love this group, I can tell you. And it's open for, for men and women both. And it's just going to be a blast. Yeah.
Very fun.
That's awesome, Cindy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Laura, how about you? And before Laura, you start, I'm feeling like I'm lagging. Am I lagging? If I'm lagging, you guys just hop in there, because I'm like, I'm looking at my face here and it's lagging. I have a lagging face.
Back. Don't worry, you're back. You're back. I think you're back.
There you are. Hey, can I just add one more thing before Laura jumps in? So for my group and for what I do, my goal really is for you to have victory and joy, and victory in every area of your life. And so in that group that I'm creating and that will be launching very, very soon, it really is a place where you can come, and I'm going to have guests in there and just super fun things that are going to happen, so that you can literally slay your day every day and have victory in every area of your life. So.
Okay. Well, as far as things coming up, yes, my favorite time of year is June because that is when I do my Tweens Club. It's a virtual club that I offer weekly sessions for tweens, and we talk about confidence and courage and identity. And it's actually my favorite time of year. And my group last year was I just fell in love with all the kids, and I just wanted to hang out with them all the time. But anyway, so that'll be coming up in June. And let's see here. Yeah, I've got lots coming up actually. I don't know if I want to share everything. It's mostly kind of like some local stuff, but as far as a group and how people could get to me virtually, I have in a fantastic group online on Facebook. It's called The Positively Healthy Mom. Because the thing is, we're all positively healthy moms. And so it's not just me, it's we all are. And so come find me on my group, and we do lots of support, encouragement, advice, tips, all sorts of things. It's a great resource for moms.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And I'm not a positively healthy mom, but I will tell you this, it is a great group. And you got a podcast going too, right?
Yes.
You've got a great podcast going. As a matter of fact, both of you got amazing things happening. So friends and family around the world, you guys need to be checking out regularly their social media and their websites for up-to-date information, because they're going to be running groups, they're going to be running opportunities, and you guys want to get in on them. I am speaking from experience, firsthand knowledge of how much I love these ladies, and I know the amazing work that they are doing. And if there's anything that you need in your lives, I can guarantee you these two fabulous, amazing humans will help move heaven and earth to get you to a better place in your life. And so be sure to be up to date with them on their social media and their websites. So let's go back into that for our websites just for a second. Cindy, the best way to get a hold of you on your social medias is?
Cindy Gould on Facebook, or this is longer, but on Instagram, I'm victorious_living_with_Cindy on Instagram, or createyourvictoriouslife.com.
Beautiful. That's great. And then Laura, for you?
Yeah, just if you go to my website, all the social links are on there, and that might be the easiest way to do it. So my website's just positivelyhealthycoaching.com. And yeah, all the links to Instagram, Facebook, my Facebook group, my YouTube channels are all on there.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, listen, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys being here. And I'm so glad that the global Earth community got a chance to see you today. So if you're catching the replay on this, please reach out to Laura and Cindy for anything that you guys need for you guys to create that harmony and balance within your lives that can help you become the best version of you that you can. And that's really what it is we're all of us, all three of us right here on camera, and everybody around the world, we're all going through and dealing with stuff day to day. And we just want you to know that we love you. You're not alone. We're here to help, to serve, to support, to guide, and in any way, shape that we can. And thank you guys, for both being here. You two are absolutely amazing. I can believe because it was divine, but I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed, because the three of us are in 3 different states here in the U.S., and we probably would never have met each other had it not been for the Neuroencoding Institute with Dr. Joseph McClendon III, and being trained under him and the neuropsychology that we've had training with over the years. And so I'm forever grateful just for that fact alone, because my life is better because you two are a part of it. So I just love you both, and thank you so much for being here. Thanks again, friends and family around the world. Love you guys too. So glad you were able to join in with us today. The show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check it out at SpanglishWorld.ca. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. We'll see you soon.